Forget spending a fortune on fancy irrigation gadgets. Long before drip systems and smart timers, gardeners relied on a quiet, reliable method that worked with nature, not against it. This old-school trick slowly releases water right at the roots, exactly where plants need it most. No waste, no runoff, no daily watering stress. Once it's in place, your soil stays evenly moist for days, sometimes weeks, even during hot, dry weather. It's perfect for raised beds, containers, and backyard gardens, especially if you're tired, busy, or on a budget. The best part? You can make it yourself with materials you probably already have. This isn't about being fancy. It's about being wise. The kind of wisdom passed down from gardeners who learned to listen to the soil, conserve water, and let plants thrive naturally. Meet Mrs. Eleanor Hawthorne, 78 years young, sharp as ever, and steady on her feet before sunrise. She doesn't rush her mornings. She listens to the birds, the breeze, and most of all, her garden. She knows every bed, every plant, every patch of soil like the back of her hand. Her neighbors swear she has magic, while their tomatoes wilt and their cucumbers struggle through the driest weeks of summer. Mrs. Hawthorne's vegetables stay lush, green, and generous. They lean over the fence and ask what fertilizer she's using, or what expensive system she installed. She just smiles. The truth? No magic, no money, just a little creativity, patience, and a deep respect for how plants actually drink. Years ago, when arthritis made daily watering harder and her budget tighter, she learned to work smarter instead of harder. She set up simple, slow watering methods that feed the roots gently, keep the soil cool, and reduce waste, methods anyone can use, even today. Mrs. Hawthorne believes good gardens aren't built on gadgets. They're built on understanding, consistency, and letting nature do most of the work. Before we dig in and show you exactly how she does it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, where old wisdom meets practical gardening, and every season still has something to teach us. Tip 1. Make your own Ollas from terracotta pots. Eleanor never believed good gardening had to be expensive. In fact, she laughs when she sees the price tags on modern irrigation gadgets, because she knows most of them are just polished versions of what gardeners have done for centuries. Instead of buying ready-made Ollas from the store, Eleanor makes her own. She starts with simple, unglazed terracotta pots, the kind you'll find in any garden center. 2 pots of the same size are glued rim to rim, forming a sealed clay vessel. The small drainage hole at the bottom is carefully plugged with silicone sealant, ensuring water escapes only through the porous clay walls, not all at once. Once the glue and sealant are fully dry, she buries the Ollas in the soil with only the opening left exposed. Then she fills it with water and covers the top with a small stone or lid. That's it. What happens next is where the magic seems to appear, but it's really just science and patience. The terracotta slowly sweats water into the surrounding soil. As the soil dries, it naturally pulls more moisture from the pot. When the soil is moist, the water release slows down. The plants take what they need, when they need it, right at the root zone. For Eleanor, this method changed everything. Her beds stay evenly moist for days, sometimes over a week, even in the heat. She waters less often, saves water, and no longer worries about uneven soaking or scorched leaves. Her tomatoes grow deeper roots, her peppers stay firm, and her greens don't bolt as quickly. This approach is especially helpful if you're dealing with hot, dry weather, raised beds or containers, limited mobility or joint pain, a tight gardening budget. Eleanor says the real gift of DIY Ollas isn't just healthier plants, it's peace of mind. She doesn't hover over her garden anymore. She trusts the system and enjoys watching her plants thrive quietly, day by day. Have you ever made something DIY to help your garden? Maybe a homemade trellis, a recycled container, or a clever watering trick. Share your idea in the comments. Let's swap wisdom and keep these old, smart methods alive. Tip 2. Reuse broken pots and cups. Eleanor has a simple rule in her garden. Nothing useful gets thrown away too quickly. When a flower pot cracks or a favorite mug chips at the rim, she doesn't see trash, she sees potential. She lines them up on her potting bench, brushes off the dust, and gives them a second life. A cracked terracotta pot becomes the perfect home for basil or parsley. A chipped teacup holds thyme or green onions. Even mismatched cups find a place along her windowsill or garden edge. Eleanor fills each one with good soil, tucks in a small plant, and lets nature do the rest. The beauty of broken containers is balance. Small cracks and chips allow natural drainage, so roots never sit in soggy soil. At the same time, the thick walls hold moisture just long enough to keep plants from drying out too fast. It's a gentle, forgiving system, ideal for herbs and compact vegetables that don't need deep soil. For Eleanor, this method is practical and personal. Some of those cups once belonged to her late sister. Others came from thrift stores or yard sales decades ago. Every plant carries a memory, and every harvest feels meaningful. This trick works especially well if you have limited garden space, grow herbs you use often, want less waste and more purpose. Enjoy creative, low-cost solutions. She places these containers where she can see them daily, near the kitchen door, along steps, or on a sunny porch. That way, watering becomes a moment of connection, not a chore. Eleanor says gardens don't have to be perfect to be productive. Sometimes the most beautiful growth comes from things the world has already written off as broken. What broken item have you turned into a garden lifesaver? A can, a shoe, a bucket, or a cup? Share your clever hack in the comments. We love learning from each other. Tip 3. Clay pot plus mulch equals super moist soil. Eleanor says this is where everything comes together. The clay pot does its quiet work below the surface, and the mulch protects what's happening above it. Alone, each method helps. Together, they transform the soil. After filling her DIY olla with water, Eleanor gently spreads straw, dried leaves, or garden clippings over the soil around it. Not thick enough to smother the plants, just enough to shade the ground. Then she steps back and lets time do the rest. Down below, the clay pot slowly releases moisture, drop by drop, directly to the roots. Above ground, the mulch acts like a blanket. It keeps the sun from baking the soil, reduces evaporation, and prevents the ground from cracking during hot days. The result is soil that stays cool, dark, and evenly moist, exactly what roots love. What Eleanor appreciates most is the balance. There's no overwatering, because the clay only releases what the soil pulls. There's no wasted water, because moisture isn't lost to runoff or midday heat. Even after several days without rain, her plants stay upright and calm, not stressed or drooping. This method is especially powerful during heat waves or dry seasons. Eleanor remembers summers when watering every day still wasn't enough. Once she combined clay pots with mulch, her garden stopped fighting the weather, it adapted to it. She also noticed healthier soil over time. Earthworms returned. Roots grew deeper. Plants became sturdier and more resilient. The garden didn't just survive, it settled into a steady rhythm. For Eleanor, this isn't just about conserving water. It's about trust. She trusts the soil, the clay, and the simple systems that have worked long before hoses and timers existed. And that trust gives her freedom, fewer chores, less worry, and more time to enjoy her garden. Would you try mulching over a DIY water pot? Or do you have another favorite method that keeps your soil moist longer? Share your thoughts or tips in the comments. Your experience might help someone else. Tip 4. Save money with repurposed materials. Eleanor likes to say her garden wasn't built with money. It was built with attention. Before she buys anything new, she looks around at what she already has. A half-used tube of silicone caulk in the shed. A drawer of bent or mismatched spoons. Stacks of old pots that don't quite match anymore. To her, these aren't leftovers. They're tools waiting for purpose. When sealing the holes in her DIY Ollas, Eleanor uses old silicone caulk that might otherwise dry out and used. It works just as well as a new tube. Broken spoons become scoops for soil or compost. Some even serve as simple markers. Pressed handle first into the ground with the plant name scratched on the back. Cracked or mismatched pots find new life as herb containers, mulch holders, or shallow trays for seedlings. This habit didn't start as a trend. It started as necessity. Years ago, when money was tight and her hands ached more easily, Eleanor learned that waste is often just untapped wisdom. She discovered that repurposing doesn't lower the quality of your garden. It increases your understanding of it. Her garden proves it. Visitors notice the beauty first. Healthy leaves, steady growth, and a calm, cared-for feeling. Only later do they realize how little of it came from a store shelf. The charm is in the intention, not the price tag. Repurposing also brings freedom. Eleanor doesn't worry about breaking things. She experiments. She adapts. If something doesn't work, she adjusts it. Gardening becomes playful again, less pressure, more learning. This approach is especially helpful if you garden on a fixed income, hate seeing useful items wasted, enjoy hands-on problem solving, want a garden that reflects you, not a catalog. Eleanor believes frugality isn't about doing without. It's about doing better. Smarter watering, smarter tools, smarter choices, all guided by patience and experience. Do you have a frugal gardening tip from your own backyard? Maybe something you repurposed or a clever workaround that saved money? Drop it in the comments. We might feature your idea and help keep these smart traditions growing. Tip 5. Patience is the key. If Eleanor could pass on just one lesson, it wouldn't be about clay pots, mulch, or clever tools. It would be this: give things time. DIY Ollas don't deliver instant results. There's no dramatic change overnight. No sudden explosion of growth the next morning. At first, it can feel like nothing is happening at all. But beneath the soil, something important is unfolding. The water moves slowly. The roots respond slowly. The soil adjusts, learning how to hold moisture again. Plants begin to stretch downward instead of staying shallow and dependent. This quiet process builds strength, not speed. Eleanor admits that in the beginning, she checked her garden constantly. She worried. She second-guessed herself. Was there enough water? Was it working? But over time, she learned to watch instead of rush. Leaves stayed firm through the afternoon heat. The soil remained cool when she pressed her fingers into it. The plants stopped looking stressed and started looking settled. Patience changed how she gardens and how she lives. She realized that nature doesn't hurry, yet nothing is left undone. The same rhythm that grows roots deep and steady also teaches us to slow down, observe, and trust what we've put in place. Gardening became less about control and more about cooperation. This lesson is especially meaningful as we grow older. Hands may not move as fast. Energy comes in waves. But wisdom deepens. Eleanor says the garden meets you where you are, if you let it. When you work with slow, steady methods like Ollas, you're not just saving water, you're building resilience. In your soil, in your plants, and in yourself. Have you ever been surprised by how slowly something beautiful grew? A garden, a habit, a relationship, or even your own strength? Share your story in the comments. Someone else might need that reminder today. Mrs. Eleanor Hawthorne reminds us that a thriving garden isn't built on shiny tools, smart gadgets, or big budgets. It's built on understanding, on paying attention, on working with nature instead of trying to rush or overpower it. With a few old terracotta pots, repurposed household items, and a patient mindset, she's created a garden that stays calm through heat, steady through dry spells, and generous season after season. Her methods aren't complicated, they're thoughtful, and that's what makes them powerful. Eleanor's garden teaches a quiet lesson. You don't need more to grow more. You need rhythm. You need consistency. And you need the willingness to let small, simple systems do their work over time. Whether you're gardening on a fixed income, dealing with sore joints, or just tired of waste and overwatering, her approach meets you where you are. More than anything, she shows us that gardening is not just about plants. It's about dignity. It's about using what you have, trusting what you've learned, and finding joy in steady progress rather than instant results. If this video sparked an idea, brought back a memory, or encouraged you to try something new in your own garden, take a moment to pass it on. Give this video a like, share it with a friend who loves to grow things, and subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, a place where old wisdom is honored, practical solutions are shared, and growth still matters at every stage of life. Because here, wisdom doesn't rush. It grows, one root, one season, one lesson at a time.